Hi everybody, this is Brendan from LemPlay. And in today's video, I want to walk you through common mistakes people make in MaintainX that slowly turn good templates into something teams stop using. These aren't bad tool problems. They are usage patterns that show up once a system scales. The first mistake is overloading templates with too many steps. We'll go to my library, look at my procedures, and use this example. In MaintainX, it's very easy to keep adding extra checks, extra confirmations, and extra notes just in case. What starts as a 10-step checklist quietly and quickly becomes 40 steps. On paper, this feels thorough, but in practice, frontline users start skimming. When every task feels equally important, nothing feels important. People either rush through steps or blindly tick boxes. And finally, they abandon the checklist entirely. MaintainX gives you the proper power to enforce detail, but without restraint. That power works against adoption. The second mistake is ownership, or lack thereof. In MaintainX, setups and templates are created by one person. They are used by many people and owned by no one. Yes, I can set locations and assets to it, and even categories. But again, it's owned by no one. When nobody is responsible for keeping a template current, it slowly drifts out of sync with the reality. Processes can change, equipment also can change, and finally, regulations can change. But your template stays the same. Teams adapt in their heads, not in the system. That's when checklists stop reflecting real work. Maintain X tracks execution very well, but it doesn't force clarity around long-term templates and their ownership. Mistake number three. There is no versioning, so people run outdated checklists. If I go to my library and my procedures, there's no version visible. A template gets updated, but some people use the new version while others keep running the old one. Now, what you've got is inconsistent execution, conflicting results, and no shared source of truth. In MaintainX, unless teams are disciplined, all the procedures can keep circulating. So, from the user's perspective, it's unclear. It's unclear which version is correct, what changed, and why it changed. The tool executes tasks, but it doesn't always protect teams from running yesterday's processes. The fourth mistake is assuming steps are self-explanatory. Why maintain X? Templates say things like draft content, review draft, submit approval. Was the content approved? Schedule the content for publishing. But review how? How do I draft the content? Submit for approval. When and how? Schedule it for publishing. What day? What time? To whom? Without photos or reference links or even clear examples, different people interpret the same step differently. That leads to inconsistency. Even when everyone is following the checklist, no one executes it exactly the same way. So MaintainX supports attachments, but they're often skipped during the template creation, which weakens execution later. For context, this is how we do this in LemPlates, which is the tool we use ourselves. LemPlates is designed around reuse and standards, not once-off executions. Templates are short by default. They're structured for clarity and they're built to be reused, not bloated. Ownership is clear because templates live in assets, not side effects of work orders. And your versioning is intentional. Each new updated template gets stored right here under templates. The old version is discarded completely. Another feature is examples, links, and guidance can be embedded into each step. Yeah, I can put videos. I can put screenshots of or images, optional steps, and optional notes. That is helpful because the interpretation is consistent. And because templates live in a shared marketplace, teams naturally improve them over time instead of letting them rot in isolation. That result is fewer steps but better execution. Maintain X is powerful for execution, but without discipline, templates can become heavy, outdated, and unclear. The mistakes aren't obvious at first, but they show up later, months later, in fact, when your usage drops. If you want to see this approach in full, LemPlates is linked below.